Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Life with Brooke podcast. Now I'm nervous. I need liquid courage. Ryan, why am I so nervous all of a sudden? Can we restart? Can I restart now? Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Life with Brooke podcast, a podcast where we're going to talk about motherhood, life, business, and everything in between. A little bit about me. My name is Brooke. I'll be the host of this podcast. I am a wife of 2 years to my husband, Ryan, and I'm mother to Luca, who is 11 months old today. I am a registered nurse, and I'm also a business owner of Blue Rose Custom Apparel and Embroidery. I've been unable to return to work due to my diagnosis of pulmonary hypertension. I do have a central line and a pump that continuously gives me medicine. We live in Beeville, which is my hometown, where I graduated from high school and met my husband. I got my inspiration for this podcast from my love of communicating and interacting with people. Since having my diagnosis and being unable to return to work, I felt like I had lost a part of myself because I wasn't as interactive in carrying on those conversations that I was used to having beforehand. So I thought, what better way than to communicate with a broad spectrum of people than to start a podcast. So that's how Life with Brooke was created. We'll be covering everything from motherhood to life with a progressive disease to business. Each week, we will be doing a feature of the week, which will be an item from my embroidery business, and that'll be the feature of the week. So that's something to look forward to also. So this will be a very informal podcast. As you can see, it is in my home, which took a lot of patience from my point. I like everything to have its own place in my home, and now things are a little disarrayed and not in their spot. So it's taken me a moment to get used to, but I do love what we have done and the little space we have created. It's become my favorite little corner of the house. So I'm looking forward to getting to know everyone and to bring you a little bit of brightness to your life and, talk about things. Some conversations will be difficult and some will be happy. And, we're just going to kind of go with the flow and see where this takes us. If all this sounds like something you'd love to watch and listen to, make sure that you do follow the links below. That's where all of our social media and our platforms will be listed. And we look forward to seeing you there. So enough about me, but girls, have y'all ever been to Home Depot? I had not. And if I had, I obviously had never paid attention. I posted a TikTok last week about our adventure to Home Depot. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but I really wanted a pegboard for my embroidery shop. As I mentioned earlier, I'm that type of person. Everything needs to have its place. I need to be able to see everything, and I don't like when things are out of place. So I dragged my husband to Home Depot, and I was blown away at everything they have there. It's amazing. All the appliances, workbenches, lights. There's a whole 2-3 aisles of just lights. So now my whole house needs new lights, I've decided. But back to this. So I go through, I find the pegboard that I want. I asked them to cut it down because there was no way that thing was fitting in my car. Then it comes down to picking out the wood that the pegboard would need to be attached to. And I convinced my husband to buy, I don't know, I think they were like 8-foot pieces of board. And needless to say, barely fit in my car. But the point is, they did fit. So there's that. We get home. My husband is being so sweet and making sure that everything is level and perfect because he knows that I'm very OCD when it comes to things like that. And if he doesn't hang it correctly, he will never hear the end of it from me. We're about halfway through. We just smell this horrible skunk smell. I mean, it literally overtook our house in minutes. It was horrible. So my husband goes outside with a flashlight, finds our 3 dogs surrounding a skunk with our little Westie not ready to give up the fight. So he gets our two bigger dogs, our boys, away from the skunk, and he's yelling at her to get away from the skunk, and she will not. So I go to the back door, and I was like, what is going on out here? She has it by the throat. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this little she's a Westie. She's a lap dog, has the skunk by its throat. So my husband finally gets her off the skunk and away from it. All three dogs smell horrible. It's 11 something at night, so I can't go buy hydrogen peroxide or baking soda as the internet tells me I need to wash my dogs with. So I get the bright idea to wash them with OxyClean. And I don't know if I mentioned, but it is cold, wet, and rainy here. So there we are outside washing our three dogs at midnight with OxyClean. But you know what? It may have taken us till 2:30 a.m., but those dogs do not smell like skunk. But then I wake up the next morning hoping that our house will have, magically aired out the skunk smell. And it was horrible. It was worse the next morning. So I'm Googling and I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do. And I read to put out bowls of vinegar and that will absorb the skunk smell. So I load up my son. We go to Dollar General. I buy some vinegar and I come home so proud of myself. I have bowls everywhere. My husband comes home from work and is like, it doesn't smell as bad, but it still has a smell. And I'm like, just give it time. Give it time. The next morning we're leaving to go out of town, thankfully, because the house still was not smelling too great. And I realized I don't know where my wallet is. And the last time I saw my wallet was, you guessed it, Dollar General. So after tearing our house apart, taking our son out of the car seat to make sure he wasn't sitting on my wallet, all the little things, I finally decided to call Dollar General. And they informed me that I left my wallet in the cart outside. Thankfully, somebody had turned it in. And when I went to go pick it up, everything was still in there. So I was super, super thankful for that. And besides making us run late, we made it. We made it. And officially, 4 days later, our house no longer smells like skunk. So I will say that the vinegar did work. I just wish it would have worked faster. So we had an overnight trip planned last weekend to go down to the valley with our friends from Live Oak Vodka. Shout out to Rob, Lindsay, and Kenneth. Thank y'all for a great trip. We went down there to help them with an event to promote their vodka. And, I've never been to the valley before. I was, besides the heat, because it's terrible down there, I really enjoyed the change of scenery and all the things that the valley has to offer. We really enjoyed our stay, especially the hotel that we stayed at was just beautiful. I would love to go back. So, but on our way back, I've never gone through a checkpoint. And if I have, I've been asleep. So my husband, kind of warns me like, oh, the checkpoint's coming up. Have you ever been through one? And I'm like, no, I haven't. And for some reason, I start really getting nervous. And I don't know why. I have my driver's license with me. I am a citizen and I know, from all the movies and everything that they just ask you if you are and you just answer yes and you're good to go. But I start getting nervous and like, am I going to answer correctly when they ask? Because there's all these cameras, there's all these things and it's just like, you get nervous. And I told my husband, like, I just make sure that I answer correctly, please. So we pull up and there's this very sweet gentleman that's working there, the Border Patrol agent. And, he did ask, smiled at us and just said, are all of you U.S. citizens? And I was sweating, but I said, yes. And we go through it and then I act like it was a piece of cake and, then I realized, why was I even nervous? Anyways, it was pretty interesting. Never had been in that part of South Texas before. I was also pretty shocked. So everyone tells you you're close to the border when you're down there. I didn't realize we were 3 miles away from the international bridge. 3 miles. You just at a stoplight, you take a right and you're right there. That was a little mind blowing there to me. I didn't quite realize how close we were to a whole nother country. So when you think about it in that perspective, it's pretty cool. I love how, the cultures, they mix and everything. It was a very nice stay. I'd like to go back again very soon. So all in all, don't think the valley gets enough credit. Like I said, very beautiful, very fun. So if you have a chance, drive down there. Go enjoy a weekend. I think you wouldn't regret it. So what do I have going on this week? I have Galentine's brunch this Saturday. That's when all girlfriends get together, have brunch. The Beeville Country Club is hosting this one, which I'm really excited about. I've already had my outfit picked, but they really know how to throw a good party. And there's going to be lots of ladies there that I just love and adore. So it's going to be a real good time. Then I'm taking a quick trip down to Port A with one of my very dear friends, just for a quick overnight trip and coming back early Sunday. Sunday, Blue Rose will be releasing our St. Patrick's Day and Easter designs along with our Easter baskets. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Also, be on the lookout for this shirt, this little Texas shirt. I'll be releasing that also very soon. So I really do want to get to talking to you about our feature of the week. It's our Mrs. sweatshirt. You may have seen our post a few days ago, but I wanted to take the time to show it to you and show you all the different ways that you can customize it, because everything that we do can be customized to your liking. So with this sweatshirt that I did today as an order, Miss Dominguez did not want an established date, as you would have noticed in our previous post. She wanted another word added below her name. So we did do that. Her name was a little long. So we got creative and we moved the Mrs. up to the top, which we just think is so cute and added such characteristic to the sweatshirt. It makes it stand out a little bit from other ones. Just so you know, just because our sweatshirts are listed or photographed a certain way, sweatshirt, t-shirts, anything actually, we can always customize it to your liking. So don't hesitate to reach out to us and ask us, hey, can you do this or that? We would be glad to. So lots of new and exciting things coming to Blue Rose. I'm very excited about our growth and where we're headed. So stay tuned. I know this is my first podcast, so bear with me. I hope you have enjoyed it though. I certainly have. We're going to try and release weekly episodes. We're going to do our best there. If you would like to follow our journey and continue listening to us, go ahead and click the links below. That'll direct you to where you need to be to listen to us. So thank you all very much.